Oh, hey guys, welcome. So this is my new Finding the Force studio, and I am of course your host, Obi-Dad Kenobi.
Is it me you're looking for?
Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos about anything Star Wars, but especially lightsabers. But I finally get to show you guys a whole bunch of my collectibles, my signed C-3PO, this very overly priced Galactic Starcruiser replica, and this stand from Blue Dog Designs. You have to check out their Etsy page. Can take your Darth Vader Hasbro helmet and make it look epic on display. Oh, this is a lot of lightsabers. And I'm so excited to not be using green screens for the first time, like ever, maybe. And so I had to celebrate by wearing one of my green Star Wars shirts. Thank you, honey, for buying this for me for Father's Day. I wish Galaxy's Edge made a Yoda lightsaber, maybe one day. But I can't think of a better video to make for the first time in this studio. Epic, all the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers review. And let's get this started, because it might be kind of a long one, and we got a lot of sabers to go through, you guys. Woo! The first most important person I have to thank for making this video possible is our official smuggler, Keven. Batuu77 on Instagram, check him out. Contact him if there's any merchandise you want from Disney World or especially Galaxy's Edge. Keven lent me like 5 or 6 of the original Galaxy's Edge sabers. So what better way to start the video than showing you guys my very first all metal hilt lightsaber I ever purchased, the Luke Skywalker. And I thought really hard about this, you guys. It came down to this. On opening day, I couldn't decide between the Skywalker and the Luke Return of the Jedi. I thought for weeks and weeks about it. I didn't even do the Savi's workshop on opening day. I just wanted one of these lightsabers. So I was going to buy one. They're like $200 with a blade. Little did I know that I'd be collecting them. I love it. It's just such a fun feeling to hold it. And like I've mentioned in videos before, guys, that, you know, your lightsabers might be on display a lot more than you're actually having fun with them. What makes this unique is actually the golden neck. It's not so movie accurate, it just looks really cool. Other than the larger size, they captured all of the particular details to this saber that really makes it iconic. And so I'm sure, as all of you guys know, we're gonna remove the display emitter and put on here the blade emitter. Even after these past 3 years, still gets me to kind of like giggle a little bit when I see the blade emitter, which I lovingly compare to a pelican choking on a fish. But there's nothing funny about holding Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and powering up this green blade and hearing that sharp ignition sound. Got his traditional iconic lightsaber swing sounds and that very sharp clash effect. Gotta love that. Return of the Jedi, one of my favorite movies of all time. Let's keep going. Why not? Obi-Wan Kenobi Ep1. What makes, there's one thing I love and one thing I hate about this lightsaber. I love that it has this thin neck up near the top, which actually makes this one of the few lightsabers in the Galaxy's Edge collection that you can do tricks with and spins with fairly easy. But the one thing I'm not crazy about is that they had the opportunity to use one of these dials as a switch, but they put this light switch on here. What are you gonna do? Very traditional lightsaber sound of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this is also one of the lighter of all the sabers. So putting this on your hip, you won't even notice it in the parks. Let's keep going. The iconic Skywalker lightsaber in the Empire Strikes Back configuration, or this might even be the, the Force Awakens configuration, because Disney was so big on promoting the sequels and stuff. But now it is one of the more retired, more difficult to find sabers. There's nothing like holding a Graflex, you guys. And the term Graflex, another short video, refers to the Graflex camera that was, the flash gun was used to make this in the first Star Wars ever, Episode 4, A New Hope. Yes, got the Luke Skywalker sound. And one thing I'll tell you guys right now I love about all the Galaxy's Edge sabers is that somehow from all these sabers, they've managed to give each one a unique and different sound and swing and clash effects. You know, a lot of people ask, which saber should I get? Big question, get it all the time. The answer is, go with your gut, guys. You know, the first saber that pops into your head is the one you have to get for sure, no questions asked. But if you have no idea what saber to get, I mean, my favorite is that Luke is the first one, and this one. Like getting the most iconic lightsaber and one of the first that we ever really get to see on screen. Classic, you won't be disappointed. Boom, the Temple Guard. Finally getting around to this bad boy. See them in the Clone Wars, their saber staffs. And this was released in a box set. We actually auctioned it off for charity, like, you know, the last 6 months. Or I really wish the side windows would light up, but with all the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers, there's no added lights. Super unique, metallic, like aluminum sound. That whipping ignition is so unique. You'll recognize that from a mile away. Yellow's a little bit faint, could maybe use some new batteries, but the Saber Staff box set was super hard to get a hold of, limited on Shop Disney, and it comes with the two different connectors. One like allows them to pop out, and one was much stronger and sturdy. You know, had like a wooden look to it. Very cool elven type emitter appearance. That's a Temple Guard. Asajj Ventress, a fan favorite of all of you Clone Wars fans out there. Buy 2 of them, can connect them. Has been very difficult to find. Oh, you hear that? Oh, that's like a Harley purring out on the street. Got a little hint of like electricity humming there. I never got 2 of them and connected 2 of them, but it's been really fun to see this one again. It brings back memories. But I do love that this little accent that looks like a switch is the switch, so I'm super happy they did that and didn't add like an extra added one that Hasbro did. I think I compared these sabers in one video and they didn't add like an extra switch somewhere else. Drives me nuts. Hate when they do that. Darth Vader, and there's so many different configurations from the different films, but I've told you guys before, this one is definitely my favorite. I love the wires at the top. They make it super interesting, and the bubble strip is very vintage. I love the original trilogy, is my personal favorite. I'm a little surprised that how good the grips feel. They feel really tough. Not like they don't at all feel like a piece is gonna come up or that over time they're gonna like break off. They feel super, super strong. And this definitely does not have a generic sound like Hasbro's kind of notorious for. Iconic Darth Vader hissing sound. Yeah. That super sharp ignition. It's even loud too. This is really loud saber. But sometimes the volume can vary a little bit if your batteries are low. What do you think, huh, Vader? Yeah. I'm just totally geeking out over this display, guys. So cool. So if you're a Darth Vader fan, you're going to go nuts for this. One of the cheapest metal Vader hilts you can find. Even though I also reviewed the Art Sabers NeoPixel version of this that ended up going to AJ, a super great kid out there fighting brain cancer, and I'm going to share that story with you guys soon as well. Next, a fan favorite, Jedi Master Mace WIndu. And I didn't realize how incredibly thick this saber is compared to the more replica version. I finally got my hands on one. Art Saber sent me one, but once I've held the replica, I all of a sudden realized how incredibly thick this saber is. It's all chromed out. The grips feel super sturdy. I love the texture on the backing. I also did a video showing off a custom NeoPixel blade that works with all of your Galaxy's Edge sabers from Jamu, and I just did a recent updated video on that. Check that out down in the description as well. Oh, I love that unique sound. It turns, you know, this color purple can even look a little pinkish if your batteries are low. But on the earlier Mace WIndu sabers, a lot of people unanimously said it was like more of a lighter, a deeper pink color than a purple. But with the Jamu blade, it gives you a really solid, rich purple color. I put that in that review video. But it's just really, this is just such a cool saber to hold. It's not generic, it's very unique. One flaw, be careful guys, activation switch is this metal piece that slides up. and they used to rattle and can get stuck and break or pop off. So kind of a downside. That's why I love the Darksabers version. There's like a little discreet button right here, and it doesn't use any of these accent pieces as switches. All right, why not, guys? The Darth Maul Saber Staff. Boom, one of the original OG sabers from opening day. One of my viewers was asking about blade length for the Darth Maul, and I definitely recommend for most of everyone the shortest 26-inch blade. I think if you're going to be a collector of these sabers, you're going to want to have like a pair of each size, just for fun, because you might actually like the 32 Savi's Workshop length more than the 26s, but you can't go wrong with these. I think this is great for saber staff for pretty much everybody, so that when you have the saber about this height, you're not going to hit the floor. I'm really impressed with the connector. Really well vented for sound, and let's listen to Darth Maul's signature lightsaber sound. Oh yeah, because each saber is making like a double saber swing sound. Oh, and I can do this now because I have a bigger studio than before. Oh man, sweet. We have to buy them one at a time. Each one comes with a connector. That's Darth Maul's saber staff. This is Endurance Saber reviews, guys. I hope I can keep up. All right, next. I hope I don't miss one. That would be tragic. The Ben Solo Legacy Lightsaber. When I saw this, I just loved the design immediately. It's probably thicker than the replica, like most of the time, but I just thought this is such a cool, sleek design. It's one of the few sabers that's actually weathered. I had a hard time counting how many, but it is weathered. The buttons and the sides are weathered like the Kylo Ren's. But just some of the accent pieces. The bulk of the saber is a really shiny, kind of a bright silver, and the upper emitter goes from the blue to the purple to the gold. Oh man, I love all that. It's like hard to describe. It's that sound just sounds so cool. One of the three 3-second sabers from the Rise of Skywalker, you know, that you only see for just moments. Let's listen to the swing sounds. Kind of sounds like Luke Skywalker's Clash a little bit. Soon to be retired, according to Disney. Whatever that means. The Darth Tyrannus, also known as Count Dooku saber. Super deluxe, chromed out. Oh man, I love the fact that the bottom, it should be designed so that the button lines up perfectly, streamlined with the design of the saber. The Hasbro one was off a little bit, drove me nuts. Yes, it's activated by a little switch underneath, but it's pretty discreet. I don't think you'd really notice it. I think that's really the only way they could have added a switch, because this whole pummel piece comes off for the battery pack inside. Kind of a more quiet sound. The sound has to come out of this big clunky metal hilt. Still vented okay. Could be the batteries, but just maybe the activation's a little bit on the quieter side, but super unique swing sounds. All of the Galaxy's Edge sabers flash, even though it's kind of hard to see on screen. Okay, now this next lightsaber is Anakin Skywalker's first all-metal lightsaber, the Kylo Ren. What? Oh man, opening day, I got Luke Skywalker, he had Kylo Ren, different trilogies. That's cool though. Again, one of the few sabers that really is weathered, just even a little bit, just kind of scuffed up so it doesn't look brand new, you know, they just kind of scuffed up some of the accents on the grip. And they painted the side vents, this kind of a peach and a blue color near the side, you know, near the ends. And overall, compared to all the Kylo Ren lightsabers, I think this is my favorite design, whether it be Hasbro or any other company that I've seen for this price point. Nailed it. And it's also rare in general to find belt clips that come with the Kylo Ren lightsaber, and this one does. And something I don't want to forget to stress to you guys is that when you buy a Galaxy's Edge Legacy lightsaber, take it out of the box, swing it around, and test it out, making sure that it's working okay, all right? You do not want to get home and find out that the side blade doesn't work or that something's just going haywire. You don't want to find out at home. Disney will fix it, but it'll take a few weeks. It does flicker. There is a slight flicker, and I don't think any other Galaxy's Edge saber flickers. You know, it kind of plays on a loop. You can hear some short-circuiting sounds, some crackles. There you go. You can hear the hiss a little bit when you move the saber. And unfortunately, this is the only saber that I think makes the same clash sound. Deactivation, the main blade does light up before the side vents, and what can I say, it works. You know, compared to the Hasbro Force Effects Elite lightsabers, they keep trying to pump more effects into the blades, but then they stop working as well. So it works, and it's also the most reasonable price between those two, the other competing company. So next we'll check out Reforged is what they're calling this one. We did a comparison with this and the Skywalker Saber. Everything is identical except for just the details here. The sounds, the ignition, everything else was the exact same. All the accents and like the detail on the upper half, all identical. Sounds the same color and everything. The leather cuff in the center with this metal piece that's kind of bolted down and the carbon scoring here. I really love the extra detail, and it makes it almost more interesting, like visually to the eye. And hey, if you're a sequels fan, you might really love this saber, and the belt clip is also built in, and it feels pretty durable. If you wanted to break it, you would, but don't need a special clip or anything, just slides right on the belt there. I do have a replica Skywalker Reforged saber like this, and I actually kind of like this carbon scoring better. It looks like the gold and the like soot is kind of blended together a little bit better here than even the one that I have that I got from Corbanth, where they kind of did it by hand. It looks a little hand etched. I wish it looked a little bit more like this. And another fun fact, so this is one of the only sabers where the replica is really not that much thinner at all to the Galaxy's Edge saber. They're about the same thickness, and like I said, I do love this carbon scoring, the way that it looks. It's not going to rub off. It's not paint. I don't even know how they put that on there, but it looks really cool. Although, something that does kind of drive me nuts a little bit is that both of my Skywalker sabers, I want to put some like clear super glue underneath the ears. You hear that? The other Graflex sabers of like the higher tiers, the more replica grades, these ears connect to this cuff and kind of pinch the saber down so they don't wiggle like that at all. But like I said, it's the price point. You know, in some of the newer sabers, especially the Obi-Wan Kenobi Saber, I think they might have increased the sensitivity somehow. Maybe upgraded the chip or something. Because this definitely does not have any sensitivity going on here at all. But cool, action-packed clash effects, different. There's probably 3 or 4 of them. All right, now this is a bit of a controversial saber for a couple of reasons. First, if you guys recall, they actually released this in a box set, and it was paired with the Reforged Skywalker. It kind of gave people the idea that this was going to be a limited saber. So all these boxes all got bought up, and then a couple weeks later, you were able to purchase it by itself in its crate. Another thing that's driving people crazy, a year or so after it's come out, these little pearl inlays start to peel themselves off the saber. So it's kind of a defect. It's a real shame for all of you Princess Leia fans out there. This is the second thin neck sabers that have a whole upper emitter that removes and looks cool on display. They missed this opportunity to really nail the design by using this button as the activation switch instead of this little switch down below. But you kind of get 2 for 1 with this saber because you get to put it on display like so, and then when you do take it down to have fun with it, you remove the upper half and replace it with the blade half that makes me laugh. And definitely an orange hue, like a light, I wouldn't say copper. No, I don't think they got the color right. I just don't. You can't really find another Leia saber for this price, but she does sound good. One of the three 3-second sabers from The Rise of Skywalker, and a really exciting scene to see Princess Leia training with Luke and even besting him in that scene when they're running out in the jungle somewhere. Really metallic sound to it. Got some different swing sounds. Clash sounds are a little bit low volume. But definitely with the pearl inlays, even if they are bowing up a little bit. One of the more fancy sabers. You could fix this with a little bit of super glue underneath. Be careful of the super glue though. You don't want one that leaves like a powdery residue everywhere. All right, next we have the Darksaber, modeled from the Mandalorian show. And I think they nailed this design. This is definitely one of the thinnest sabers that they sell. Feels fantastic, looks slick. Although it does fail in a couple areas, but I mean, just even on display, this is gonna look fantastic. Comes in a big box set, which comes with its own stand and a belt clip. Now, the belt clip does rub people the wrong way. It kind of sticks out this bright silver, which stands out definitely from the black, but easy fix. It comes right off with an Allen wrench. You could paint it and it'll blend right in. Give you a way to kind of personalize it, make it your own. There's this little cap that pops right off. And the blade inserts. It is way, way easier than the Black series. And I'm going to be doing an epic Darksaber review video because there's definitely difference in the blade. This Galaxy's Edge blade, different LED lights, but it's strong. And look at this. Push the button, ka-chunk, you're done. That's how you want to put your blade in. You just want to be done with it. Hasbro, you have to like get out an Allen wrench, take the screw out, remove the whole upper half, put the blade in, slide the upper half over it. Who wants to do that? You're not going to have fun with your sabers if you got to do that kind of a project, you know? I take it back. Kylo Ren flickers, the Darksaber flickers. Although it's making action-packed swinging sounds when I'm not, not moving it. Stop it. Stop. Okay. How embarrassing. There we go. The sound's coming out the... Are you doing that on purpose? The sound comes out the bottom of the... Cramping my style here. The sound is coming out the bottom of the hilt where it should come out of. Compared to the Hasbro where the speaker was like in the grip. Like, who does that? And the lights, the fact that only the upper two lights light up is kind of kills the mood a little bit, you know? But it does flicker. The lights don't go to the very tip, but I appreciate that the blade is much stronger and doesn't, the Force Effects one wobbles a lot. And also this hilt is much more thinner and I think more accurate to the series. I've had about enough of you. I'm putting you down. The Rey no, I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. The Rey Scavenger, I like to call it, saber with the cool plastic teeth. Oh, I guess they're cool. The plastic teeth that open and shut. And this is one of the few rare sabers that is very weathered and has a cool sandy coating and powdered. Mostly just the pommel and the emitter have this sandy look to it. I think they did actually a really good job with the wrap. The wrap looks rugged. Even if the layers don't look natural, it still looks roughed up. But what kills the saber are two things. One, we can't see the windows like in the movie. Come on, light up something else. It'd really help out. And also they put this light switch on the side of the saber. Wah, wah. But the teeth, you don't have to do all this unscrewing business like you do with the other sabers. The teeth just pop up, even though one of mine is a little limp. Doesn't really quite stay up. So make sure you take your sabers out, test them out, check the teeth, make sure they're all working right before you leave Doc Ondar's, you know? The sound resonates really well out of here. They nailed the ignition sound. Unlike the Darksaber, it's not getting triggered when you hold it still. Oh, and this is, I think, the first time Disney sneaked in one of their clash effects. Like they had like a 2 or 3 flashes in a row. There we go. It's kind of a lightning clash, almost like a lockup effect. Sounds great, and the sound does really resonate out of here, but one more thing you have to keep in mind is that this is a really heavy saber. There is a little belt clip, do not put this on your belt and walk around. Not a good idea. I think I weigh this thing at like almost close to 3 pounds. I mean, nothing you would want to keep on you or even in your purse or something when you're at the parks. And so next is the Galactic Starcruiser super exclusive lightsaber. Their training lightsaber that you can only buy on the Starcruiser. I think it's still a pretty hot item on eBay. And it's a training lightsaber, another opportunity missed. The red button is not the activation button. It's this little light switch. What are you gonna do? I remember when we were waiting to go on the Starcruiser and they were talking about personalizing it. Somehow I was really captivated, hoping that you could pay someone to like engrave it or something. No, it's just a little metal button and it pops right off. So you're definitely gonna wanna super glue that, or that sucker's gonna pop off and might even get lost in your shag carpet or something. Hopefully your dog doesn't eat it. That would be some couple of days. But I just finally, it took me months to put together this epic review video of the entire experience, including the lightsaber training. So feel free to check that out at the end of the video. I'd really appreciate it. I covered everything, the food, the entertainment, the lightsabers, the bridge, and all of it. Covered it all in that video and talked about if it was worth the hefty price tag of $6,000. I've heard a lot of people say they're not really too crazy about the sound of this saber, but keep in mind it's a training lightsaber. It's not really designed to any particular Jedi or Sith. It is just for learning how to wield a saber aboard a luxury starliner. So does the sound of this lightsaber remind you of when Jim Carrey did the most annoying sound in the world? Maybe, maybe not. The clash sounds are quite glorious if you take the moment to hear them. You can hear some sparks almost flying off. Very low volume though, compared to the like hum of the saber. But this and the next item I'm going to review are part of the Legacy Collection and only can be purchased on the Starcruiser. Which brings me to the next item, which is the Legacy Shield. It changes all 6 colors of the lightsabers from Galaxy's Edge and Savi's Workshop. But it changes all the colors. And it makes the cool sound effects that they make, that the shields make. The lightsaber training pod on the Galactic Starcruiser. I did not see the souvenir coming. It's a really neat idea, and this would be perfect for Nerf Wars. Pow, pow, pow. Make a game around it. Who has the magic shield? Even white. And back to blue. Bam! So why not take a minute to admire the Ahsoka Tano Clone Wars Legacy lightsabers. Comes with 2. Probably close to what, $195 is, I'm guessing, the price. We've got the larger saber and the smaller Shoto saber. I think it'd be cool to definitely put the different size blades in here. The only downside is that the Shoto is not the lime green color. They're the same greens, but they kick Hasbro's butt because Hasbro only made the 1. And you have to buy 2 of these, and compared to Disney making the Shoto. So again, for the price, you can't beat it. Some Snips sabers. They nailed all of the major accents, even if they are as thick as a Twinkie. Bigger one has the larger switch to activate it. Little one has little switch. Yeah. Get some Ahsoka moves up in here. Awesome sound effects. Let's listen to those ignition sounds again, shall we? Yeah, you feel like Ahsoka running around with these in the neighborhood, let me tell you. Each one has a secret button. It doesn't do anything when you press it, but when you hold it down, flashes white, turns into blue, all new sounds. And each saber, it's so cool, makes the sound of 2 sabers. So moving them together and you just sound like crazy lightsaber swinging action. Green clash sounds. Blue clash sounds. They have the same clash sound, but the smaller one has a higher pitch. Next, if you had two metal, foot-long Subway sandwiches connected, you'd have the Cal Kestis. Dang. Now, let's not open that can of worms. Jaro Tapal, Cal Kestis. Let's just get on with the video, okay? But we're calling this, because I think he has this combination of saber for most of the video games, so we're going to call this the Cal Kestis Saber Staff. Got two of them. Got them sent to me from my buddy Sir James. Thanks for helping me out, because he lives down there in Southern California. But, woo, okay. I don't know how much I'm holding here. At least 5 pounds. You would not want to carry this on your hip. I don't think you'd want to cosplay with this. This is probably for the collectors. It is a chunk, man. All the details are there. The major details, the end of the grip. I think they went a little overboard with the wires sticking out, but it's a Galaxy's Edge Cal Kestis. They promised us, they gave it to us. We knew it was going to be big, and here it is. Before you buy yours, if you can, look under the neck. There's like this little black line, and it's really inconsistent. This one looks like my 5-year-old daughter put this on. It's really kind of messy. I think it's supposed to be inconsistent, but this one looks a lot cleaner, but it's not like a fine line. It just looks like someone went with a Sharpie and then went on with the next one. Don't know what that's about. These windows here are black, which is cool with me. Each one has a circular CoverTech belt clip. Let's see how the sound is, because it's only vented on 2 sides, not all the way around like the Darth. I've got two 26-inch blades, because you don't want the blades to be crashing into the ground if you're trying some moves. Yeah, the Cal Kestis workout. All biceps, all day. Oh, the Cal Kestis sound, man. Yeah. Hope I don't knock over anything behind me. Boom, boom. Oh, that deactivates quick. Let's listen to that again. Yeah. But hey, you've got a Galaxy's Edge Cal Kestis. You got 3 different blade types. Has those really cool punchy clash effects, like it's deflecting blaster bolts. Right out of the game, you guys. Boom. Moving on. All right, one of the newer sabers, the Luminara Unduli. Gonna be honest, not one of my favorites. I don't find the design too interesting. Looks like it's kind of like a reused design of the Darth Maul, but it's different. You got some gold accents. I love the CoverTech belt clip, and I love that you can just turn the little dial, activates the saber. The next saber I'll review is the Plo Koon, which I like better, much more interesting of a design. But she's one of the few green lightsabers that's a part of the Legacy Collection. Another kind of a motor heavy Harley Davidson kind of a sound to it. And actually I think the clash sounds have a metallic sound as well. Flashing yellow. And the black button is the switch. Just the upper half is just so plain. Okay, so the next one of the same style of body type, which I like better, is the Plo Koon Jedi Master. Both these are Jedi Masters on the Council and the prequels, and they kind of make all these little, if you look for them, you see them more often than if you're just watching it casually. Same design. The tip is not a little rubber nubbin, it's a silver nubbin. But I do like the black stripes on the grip and the blue up in the emitter. Kind of unique. You don't see blue on lightsabers very often. And I believe Plo Koon saber is blue. Let's check out the sounds. Oh yeah. Let me hear that again. Ignition activation sound. I almost heard 2 sounds put together. That was kind of cool. Cool, unique sounds. Every one of these sabers, man. Cal Kestis sounded like the game. Comment down below, is Disney respecting the fandom and adding sabers from the less popular characters, or are they just repurposing the same design Trying to make a little extra green. Cha-ching. I can do this, guys. I can do it. Endurance lightsaber reviewing. I'm starting to lose my voice. We're nearing the end of the video. And next is the Darth Maul Shadow Collective first time exposed Kyber crystal lightsaber. And this is, I don't care who you are, this is an awesome design for a saber. The whole upper half looks like a Tommy gun. It's got all these like perforated holes. You can, in between the holes, you can see these wires running to each side. And the bottom half is this really neat material. I think it's like, I don't know, some poly something, urethane, I don't know, poly something. Very smooth rubber feeling. You know, this is definitely one of the lighter of all the sabers. Will go great on a belt clip, even though it's longer. It can be a single-handed, it can be a two-handed saber, and it's made to connect with the original Darth Maul saber on the other end to be a saber staff. You cannot put two of these together, unfortunately. It's just the way that the connector works. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's got the double saber sound to it. And I got this like crazy long blade. It's like, I feel like a samurai. Oh, 3 clash effects. That's cool. 2 clash. And they haven't been doing this with all the new sabers, which is kind of interesting. Got the red crystal inside, looks really cool. There's no one who's not going to think that crystal doesn't look cool. Yeah, all right. It's such a random saber that I don't think we've even seen on a screen, whether it was a movie or a show. The Asajj Ventress Refocused saber, which has the exact same design, everything about it, just has the yellow lightsaber sound that you'll get from the Kyber crystals with the Savi's workshop or from the Temple Guard. Same sound. Just yellow for all of you Jedi out there who wanted the cool exposed crystal look, but maybe didn't want the red Sith saber. The saber review of epic proportions with the Darth Sidious Evil Palpatine Legacy lightsaber, the most chromed out thing I've seen. Really surprised me. This actually won me over. I like it. I think it's cool. The emitter, the neck, and the pommel are all the same color gold. I kind of like that. But the whole body of it is supposed to be kind of an like burgundy color. It's metallic, but not all chromed out like this. But hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Got the buttons on either side, red and green. The Force Effects Palpatine saber, it comes with a super special Allen wrench that's bigger that you have to use to unscrew to get to the pommel cap. But this only takes a few turns, and off comes the CoverTech belt clip and exposes the rechargeable battery. The other newest saber that Galaxy had released was the Obi-Wan Kenobi, which does not have the rechargeable battery. I don't know what's going on. Disney doesn't make sense. Let's hear how it sounds, but so easy to get to. No Allen wrench required, you guys. Boom. And again, well, there's a little switch on the back. Doesn't drive me that crazy though. I mean, it's a small price to pay for having a Darth Sidious lightsaber for $150, you know? What, give or take 10 bucks, right? This definitely had the Palpatine sound to it. Yeah. I know the Force Effects Palpatine has like a cool lightning effect and it all turns blue and there's some bouncing little lines on it and stuff. Just all we got is clash here. That's all we got. Flash on clash. But still a deep, dark-sided hum. Don't think the sensitivity is there. It feels like it's there on the Obi-Wan. We're going to get to that next. But you have an evil Palpatine lightsaber. It looks great. I know it's ridiculously big compared to the actual prop. That's kind of interesting that the belt clip is this rose gold metal and different than the rest of the saber. I would have liked if they could have added maybe the neck or whatever the replica looks like, the rose gold to the rest of the saber. Would have been cool. See, it's so ironic. They put a belt clip on the one saber, the least likely saber I would ever take out of the house. They put a belt clip on it. Wow. I'm not going to try to do a spin move right now. I'm surrounded by like 40 lightsabers. And thank you to my neighbor Peter for letting me borrow his collector's box set of the Ahsoka Tano Rebels white lightsabers. Let's take these puppies out, huh? So I believe that this style is a little bit different from the original Ahsoka Tano Rebels lightsabers that they released. They like changed the colors of the diamonds or the etchings on the sides or the emitters. I'll try to find both the pictures here for you, but these are them, guys. They're just much bigger, I think, than the props she used in The Mandalorian or like their scale size for the Rebels show. But I think as far as the details go in the hilts, they nailed the details with the larger hilt having the gold up near the emitter, the smaller hilt having this gold accent piece near the pommel. I like that. It kind of adds, it makes them interesting, showing them together like that. Definitely more of like an oriental ninja design to them, especially with the slightly bent shape, kind of a katana design. Let's put blades in these bad boys, huh? You know, as far as cosplay go, for all of you Ahsoka fans out there, you can't beat the price. These are definitely sabers that have some heft to them. You're not going to want to really walk around with these. If you do, they're going to pull down on your belt quite a bit. But they do have these D-rings down near the bottom that do feel pretty strong. But they're so heavy that like they're going to be pulling on your cosplay outfit. I would definitely assume that you're going to be holding these or putting them in some kind of a case, not in your hands. Yeah, got the smaller blade for the Shoto Saber. Got that electric sound to the hum. Yeah. Awesome. Little reverse grip action. Let's hear that one more time. Cool. Sounds awesome, guys. Probably top 3 favorites, but this is the Obi-Wan Kenobi television series Legacy Lightsaber. This thing looks slick. I did a review on it. I gave it a thumbs up. It looks fantastic. They have this like, you know, two-toned to the whole upper half of the emitter. The whole saber looks weathered. And there's only a few of them, like we covered in this video, that are really weathered. And the grip has been kind of roughed up, the upper and lower parts. The metal is still chrome because this is between episode 3 and episode 4, right? At 4, it's all beat up and dirty. 3, it's looking clean. This is in between. And they gave a really cool smoky look to the neck, and the emitter cup looks great. Only thing that isn't really fitting in about this saber is this bright silver center hole, which I'm sure would be easily painted if you had to go to all the trouble to figure out which paint to use and blah, blah, blah. But I would definitely just dirty my finger and go, and, and just kind of, mix it around with a Q-tip, get every little edge in there. But, if buttons don't work, at least with this saber, there isn't like a mysterious switch that they added extra. You actually turn on the activation switch. We're getting there though. But this is the 3rd thin neck saber that you get a whole upper half to put on display, which will look really cool in your office or bedroom or wherever the wife or girlfriend will let you display this without throwing it at you. Because unfortunately, sabers are going to be on display a lot more than we're going to get to have fun with them. But if you want to turn on your saber, you take off the cool upper half and you put on the pelican choking on a fish. Which they still had the courtesy to airbrush and weather. Dang, things got out of hand quickly. Look at how quickly that got out of hand. But hey, like I said in the review video for this, when you do turn it on and you're outside, you're just enjoying it. You're having fun with it. You're not like staring at the super extra double XL wide neck that it has transformed into magically. All right. Yes. You've got Obi-Wan's lightsaber only being sold in the box set. And who knows what Disney's going to do? They just come out with stuff wherever. Now, Obi-Wan's, sound effects are more traditional. We can expect that. But it sounds great. And The most sensitive lightsaber. I cannot explain why without tearing this thing apart. Don't know what it's about, but it triggers those sound effects of the swings really much easier than all the other sabers. Hopefully we can expect this from all the reoccurring legacy lightsabers, but I have a feeling we won't. Clash effects. I love the original trilogy clashes, sharp whip sounds. And kind of like the other Obi-Wan Episode 1 from the beginning of the video, again, like right up above the grip, like just how you would hold it with your hand, it's a bit thinner. So it does lend itself to some possibilities of some spinning. Not as easy as Episode 1. I think I give that the award for the best tricking spinning saber. Only in the box set right now, which means you have to buy the 32-inch blade. But like in my original Mace WIndu box set review video, this blade that it comes with does not have any numbers under the big notch. And I swear, guys, I compared the two purples of the older blade and this blade, and it gave me a richer color purple, even by one shade, which makes a difference with the color purple. So just when I thought I had reviewed all the Galaxy's Edge Legacy lightsabers, I went to the D23 convention, and Disney was so kind as to release Obi-Wan Kenobi box set containing his 3 lightsabers from Episode 1, the TV series, and Episode 4. And that is the new saber that I'll be reviewing here at the end of the video. And as we open the crate, we hear that sweet magical tone when the name Obi-Wan is mentioned by Luke Skywalker. It's the second, I think, only ever bubble strip lightsaber that has been a part of the Legacy collection, but this saber just looks so awesome. It is weathered to the max like no other Legacy saber has been. And you gotta take a close look at this, guys. Look at this Obi-Wan Episode 4 Sir Alec Guinness lightsaber. Man, no detail was overlooked. This thing definitely looks aged and weathered. Love the bubble strip and every detail. The Graflex flash gun lines for the clamp are there. The weathering looks great for the upper grip and the middle section here. But just the weathering looks so good. I mean, the ring is not. It's very smooth, but it looks dinged up and even matches these brush strokes on the lower emitter here match the replica to a T. So I know the size might be a little bit off, but the coloring looks fantastic, you guys. It started with Luke, then Leia, and now we have the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and Episode 4, but the whole upper half comes out. And below we have the blade emitter for Episode 4 hilts. Let's check out the sounds, huh? Sometimes it's very sad, but these sabers are on display more than we'd like them to be. So it's gonna look epic on display, and you know, when it's time to put a blade in, I know that there is some comedic value in the design of the blade emitter. Interchangeable blades, so you could pick the perfect length, and also that you could have fun with these and the blade could break and you could replace it. Check this out. Yeah, love that hum. A little bit of a squeak to it. Could fix that up in a second. This is nice and loud though too. Super loud. Let's check out the clash effects. A little bit of controversy. Some of you felt like the clash effects from the Kenobi series may have been swapped with Episode 4 because the Kenobi series sound more vintage, like the basic clash. I love the original trilogy clashes, sharp whip sounds. And these sound a little more action-packed, maybe from the Kenobi series, but you know, what's done is done, right? But just sounds great, super fun. As of the recording of this video, they have not started selling this by itself yet, but is going to stand out in your collection if you can get your hands on it. Probably one of my favorites. All Galaxy's Edge Legacy lightsaber review. We did it, Vader! We did it! Hope you guys really liked it. Thank you for joining me. And if you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. It tells YouTube that my videos are fun and you find them entertaining. So thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. And I hope all of you guys have an awesome Star Wars day. Take care. Be safe.